All new tonight at 11, the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism says anti-Asian hate crimes rose by nearly 150% in 2020.
And as part of a national panel tonight, State Attorney General William Tong said more needs to be done to stop the violence against Asian communities.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sharon Johnson is joining us live in the studio with more details. Sharon.
Well, Mark and Aaron, Attorney General Tong and other Asian American politicians on the panel say racism against Asian communities started long before the pandemic, but recent attacks brought it to the surface.
So I wanted to give us a space to love ourselves and celebrate ourselves and our unique identities.
West Hartford photographer Mike Keogh created the nationwide I Am Not a Virus campaign last year, taking pictures of Asian Americans in the community. Keogh says it was in response to the rise of anti-Asian violence and rhetoric at the beginning of the pandemic. 1 year later, he's redoubling his efforts as attacks against Asian Americans have intensified.
I think about these individuals and how often this has happened to our community and how often it's forgotten. You know, it breaks my heart.
Anti-Asian hate crimes have spiked in the last year. Today, Attorney General William Tong joined several other leaders to discuss the increase and the fear many Asian Americans are dealing with.
When I do simple things like grocery shopping, when I go to the bank, when I, walk on the street to do my exercise, am I going to be attacked?
They say racism and stereotypes against Asian Americans have prevailed for decades.
I think it's really important that kids understand and all people understand that these stereotypes aren't funny and they're very hurtful and damaging and potentially dangerous.
This has been going on for quite some time. And so I think it's time for us to stand up and say that this is harming.
Attorney General Tong and other leaders are calling for federal and state leaders to bolster resources to assess and investigate hate crimes, as well as looking for allies to speak out against these acts. In Connecticut, Keogh has been pushing for a bill that will include Asian American and Pacific Islander studies in the classroom. Keogh says public education and representation is needed to move forward.
I think it's humanizing our experiences. So when other people hear us, they can center themselves around our experience.
And today, the White House announced they would be reinstating an initiative focusing on anti-Asian bias and violence. The White House also announced a $49 million grant program for Asian American and Pacific Islander survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Live in the newsroom tonight, Sharon Johnson, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.